Okay, one of the first things that we want to do when we get our new course is to set up our gradebook. This is just a really good practice to help save you some time and make things work more efficiently for you. So at the beginning of the school year, when you come into your courses and you get your new list of courses, this is what your course will look like. It's blank and it's ready to go. So one of the first things we want to do is come and put the picture in that represents your course. And then we just want to go down to Gradebook. We just want to set our gradebook up. So we'll choose Gradebook, and now Grade Setup pops up in that left-hand column for you. So you just want to go, if you teach a bunch of courses, you just want to go into one of your courses to start, and if you use a lot of the same categories in those courses, we can just duplicate that. Just do it in one place and then send it out to the other courses, and let me show you how. So I've gone into Gradebook and Grade Setup in the course that I'm the administrator of, and you can see here's just a bunch of the gradebook options. And so here's the school year will automatically show up for you. That's populated from your Schoology administrator. But what we need to set up is our categories. And so you probably want to set yours up to match what your SIS, what eSchool has in there, what you normally might use in there to sync, but you can use any categories you want, even if they're different, because we can map them back. But so we just want to come to categories and hit add. So I'm just going to enter a couple test categories here. So maybe we have tests. Maybe I use quizzes as a separate category. Obviously, we need to put homework in there. Maybe you have things like participation, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put participation. Maybe I'll add in classwork. Now, I will tell you too, you can drop the lowest grade or whatever. You can change it from points to percentage, and you can create. So we've created these categories. Another option you have is to weight your categories. So up here you can see where it says weight categories. You can check that, and then we can come in here and we can change the percentages based on the percentage that each of these is worth. So let's say tests are worth 40%, quizzes are worth 10. Maybe participation, we track participation, but it's not really worth anything towards the grade. So you actually could change that to 0 so that when you use that category, even if you assign it a point value, this doesn't roll up into their grade. That's one tip that can be really, really helpful for you. Maybe we've got classwork is worth 10, and then we're going to make homework worth 40. So however you do it, but you could add those categories up. Again, you don't have to weight them, but you certainly can. A lot of people also ask me what the star is. So if you are using homework as the majority of the assignments that you put in the system, if you put a star next to it, then that just means that that's going to populate it by default. So it's going to show up as homework. You can certainly toggle and change the category, but that's just a little time saver. You can always go down as well and change some of your settings, or look like round your final grades, or I want you to have the grading period override columns or hide overall grades from students. That's your own personal preference. But when you add these things in and you make changes, you want to make sure you scroll all the way to the bottom and click Save Changes. So now that's as simple as it is. Okay, we've just set up the categories for our course for the year. We can always come back in and add more in if we wanted to. This is where we could look at rubrics, and we could add some rubrics in manually, or we're probably going to talk on that on a different section. We'd put them in our resources and we'd copy them into here. But up in the upper right section, this is what I want you to look at. This is going to save you a lot of time. If you click on Copy Settings, this is going to give you the ability to take your rubrics or your grading scales, and certainly our categories, and you could copy them over to any and all other courses that you have. So for example, if I wanted this to also go to my art and design course, or if I had other courses that I needed these categories in, so maybe if I taught science and I taught it 4 different sections, I could go ahead and mark it up that I'm going to make it go into all of those different sections and say copy. And when I do that, all of those categories that I just put in here and their weights will copy over to all the other courses that I teach. So again, I only have to set it up in one course, and I can copy it over to all the other courses, and now all my courses are set up to begin my year.